Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please sit down.
Thank you, ma'am.
So let's start with the revision class of block 13, preserving food. Okay. In this, the first lesson is why we need to preserve the food. Importance of preserving the food. Okay. Ishani, please stand up and tell me why we need to preserve the food.
Ma'am, we need to preserve food because in later times we will not have food, and our money will be also wasted.
So
And food also.
Yes, so the money will be wasted, the hard work of the farmer will be wasted, yes, the food will be wasted. So, in many ways, it becomes waste when the food becomes spoiled or damaged. Please sit down. Yes, that's why we need to preserve the food. Yes, now, Gautam, how can you recognize that food has become spoiled or damaged? What will happen to the food to know that we cannot eat that? What happens to the food?
Smelling.
Which smell? Good smell, bad smell?
Bad smell.
The food starts to smell badly. Very good. Akshara, do you want to add anything else other than smell? What happens with the texture?
Ma'am, it becomes more soft and smushy, ma'am.
Yes.
It will also have more.
Yes, you can see green color or white color molds growing on it. Please sit down, Akshara. Next, Stacy. Tell me what happens when we eat that spoiled food.
Ma'am, we may get diseases like diarrhea, nausea, or fever.
Yes, and food poisoning also may happen. Okay, very good. So this is our first lesson, children. Let's move on to the second lesson. Now the second lesson is about microorganisms in food. Yes, so the main reason why the food gets spoiled, Varshini, what happens, what will grow in the food that causes spoil, that makes food spoiled? What grows in the food that makes the food dirty or spoiled or damaged? Yes, Ishan?
Microorganisms.
Microorganisms will grow in the food. Please sit down. Grow in the food or on the food to make that food spoiled. Okay. Now, Harshini, what does a microorganism need to grow? What smell? Yes, Shritam, what does a microorganism need to grow? Sit, ma. Okay, Ishani,
Oxygen.
it needs oxygen, that is air.
And even it needs correct weather to stay there.
Temperature, it needs temperature, air
And moisture.
and moisture. So these are the three things which helps the microorganisms to grow on the food, and that leads to the spoilage of the food. Okay, so yes, now tell me, Gautam, tell me, do all microorganisms will spoil the food? Do all microorganisms spoil the food? Yes, no? No. Akshara, can you give some examples why not all microorganisms are spoiling the food?
Ma'am, because some food also gets spoiled by temperature.
Akshara, Gautam said not all microorganisms are spoiling the food. Do we have any useful microorganisms? And if they are there, what do they help with? Stacy?
Yeast, some microorganisms like yeast help in making bread or cakes.
Yes. So there are some microorganisms. Sit down. There are some microorganisms that help us to make the food. Bread, cake, curd, idli. Those are also with the help of some microorganisms only we can make. Okay. So not all microorganisms are spoiling the food. There are some useful microorganisms also. Okay. So this is our second lesson. Let's move on to the third lesson. The third lesson is about food preservation method. Yes, Harshini, Varshini, do you want to tell me any one method to preserve the food? Varshini, tell me any one method we learn to preserve the food. Harshini, Nana, we learned so many methods. Very good. Loudly.
Salt,
Salting.
salt,
What you will do in the salting method? Where you will put the salt, beta? To the food. Nana, in that name only we have no. We'll rub the salt to the food, meat, and we dry it under the sun so that it will not get spoiled. In that way we can preserve it. Okay, please sit down. Ishan, you want to tell next one?
Canning.
Canning. What do we do in canning?
Now foods like beans and corn are boiled at high temperature and stored in alright cans in salt or sugar syrup.
Airtight cans
Airtight cans.
in salt or sugar syrup. That means first they'll boil the food and then they'll start packing it in a airtight cans and they'll be preserved. Please sit down. Shritam, tell me next one. Salting finished, canning finished. Next. What do mummy do when the food is left out? Where she will keep? What is that method called? I already gave you the answer. Ishani, can you tell me one more method? Please sit down.
now drying.
Drying. What you will do? What you will do in the drying process of food preserving?
Ma'am, some food which have more moisture, we dry it in the sun, under the sun.
Yes. So to remove the moisture, we'll dry it in the sun so that it can be preserved for longer time. Please sit down. Gautam, next. Any one method?
Refrigeration.
Correct. So what do we do in refrigeration method? What happens if you keep the food in the refrigerator? Akshara, do you want to explain refrigerator? Who will tell me about refrigerating? Not these people. Stacy?
Food is kept at low temperatures in the refrigerator so that we can preserve them.
Very good. Please sit down. Akshara, do you want to tell me different one? Yes. Pickling. So what do we do with in the process of pickling?
And we will keep food in one jar,
Mhm.
then we will pour oil and spices to the food.
Yes. So for the food, we'll add some spices, oil, salt. Yes. We mix it properly and we close it in a airtight jars. That is pickling, and that food can be preserved for months. Very good. And the last one. Harshini, Varshini? Deep freezing. Stacy, you told about refrigeration already. Yes, Ishan.
Ma'am, deep freezing foods like meat and vegetables are kept in freezer in very low temperature
Mm-hmm.
to keep them away from spoiling.
Very good. Please sit down. Now, let's talk about natural preservatives and artificial preservatives. Shritam will explain us about natural preservatives. What do you mean by preservative? Hmm? Preservative. Ishani.
Mom, type of spices now.
Sit down. See, preservative is a thing that is added to the food to preserve it. Okay. In that you have natural preservative, artificial. So can you tell me about natural preservative?
Mom, natural preservatives are natural and there are sugar and salt which are added to make pickling and canning.
Sugar, salt, spices, oil, all these. Very good. Gautam, can you tell me about artificial preservatives? Akshara, what are artificial preservatives? Yes, Shrita. Chemicals. Artificial preservatives are the chemicals which are added to the food to preserve them for longer time. Please sit down. So this is your third lesson. Now let's move on to the fourth lesson. Fourth lesson, how food is preserved. So we learned about different methods like drying, salting, canning. Yes. So let's learn what is happening in that methods. Stacy. So Stacy, in salting, what is happening? So we learned that microorganisms need moisture, air and warm weather. So in salting what happens? What is not available for the microorganisms to grow?
Moisture is not available.
Moisture is not available. Varshini,
Yes.
in drying what is not available? Moisture. Very good. Please sit down. In canning, Harshini, in canning what is happening for the food, for the microorganisms? Canning, yes. Will pack, will seal the, very good, air. Ishan, in pickling,
Ma'am, in pickling, they will take molded jars and cut the seasonal fruits like mango and add spices and oil.
we learned already. So, with the help of pickling, what is not available for the microorganisms to grow?
Temperature.
How are they stored, Ishan?
I mean, airtight.
That means what is not available?
Oxygen.
Then, sit down. Now, in refrigeration, how the food is preserved? They are kept in the fridge. Now, after keeping in the fridge, for the microorganisms, what do they don't have to grow? What is not available for them to grow? Warm temperature. Very good. Please sit down. Ishani, can you tell me what is happening in deep freezing that microorganisms are unable to grow?
Temperature.
Temperature. What is the temperature microorganisms need and what is the temperature present in the freezing?
Ma'am, the microorganisms need warm temperature, but in the freezer it's less than 0 degrees.
It is very cold temperature, less than 0 degrees Celsius. Very good. So this is our revision class, children. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please sit.